What's going on, YouTube? I'm back with another video today talking about how you can gain club speed through your lats. Let's get into it. All right, so check this out. A lot of people do not realize one of the most important muscles to develop in your upper body for gaining club speed is your lats. A lot of people will start focusing on your triceps for snapping at the ball. They'll focus on shoulders for swinging faster through it. Now, all of those pieces do play a role, but they neglect their lats. So we need to talk about how your lats are actually used in the golf swing so that I can show you a couple of exercises to develop more lat strength for longer drives. So both of your lats operate a little bit differently, but also the same in the same aspect. So one way that your lead lat, left lat, operates is that on your backswing, it's going to extend. So you have to be mobile enough in this lat to actually get separation to create that space. The more separation you have and the more mobility you essentially have in that lat, the more range of motion you're able to have on this club head because you're able to keep everything further away. I talk about this all the time, how more range of motion is going to equal a faster swing because you create a bigger arc in your swing. One of those limiting aspects can be lat tightness. If your lat is locked in place here because you don't have a lot of mobility, well, I don't have as much space here, whereas if I get out in here, now you can see that my lat starts separating, that's connecting it here, and you get more space to create a bigger arc for more speed. Second aspect of how that left lat actually operates is after you create all that separation and space, well, now you're gonna have to use this lat to bring the club down into the slot. The lat is one of the most important aspects in bringing that club into the slot correctly, both in your lead arm and in your trail side. Your trail side, once you're up to the top here, I've talked about getting into that external rotation. Well, one of the things that leads to external rotation is driving down with that lat. If you think of a lat pull down in the gym, you grab the bar and you're doing a lat pull down. Well, you could stay in an internally rotated position, but you can also think jamming this elbow down to get into external rotation, which is riding that lat down. It's this same feel. It's the same single arm lat pull down feel. So when you're at the top of your backswing, jamming that lat down with that trail lat will allow that club to fall into the slot. Then you can deliver all the speed of the golf ball. Likewise, your lead lat also is driving it down. When you get to the top and you create all this separation, you can't stay separated. If you stay separated, you're gonna be out here, and then it's more driving down this way. Realistically, when you get here, when you're driving down here, you also want to be driving down here. Now your elbow's not going to bend, I'm kind of demoing it like this, but what happens is you get up to the top, you're going to drive down, you've now locked this left lat into place, you've drove down with your right lat, now you're in position to truly put all the speed of the golf ball. So your lats truly play a role in raising your arms over your head and also lowering your arms. So in your backswing, when you're raising your arms over your head, now you're extending your lats, and then when you're bringing them down, you're lowering them using your lats. The whole swing uses your lats. So driving down more efficiently and faster is going to lead to a faster swing because now you have more force going down as well as you're mobile, so you can create space to drive down harder to then put all the speed of the golf ball. The very last piece of this before I get into some exercises is something that a lot of people miss about their lats. So essentially, your lats connect under your armpit and they ride down and connect into your side and also in your back. Like this whole chunk, basically, I'll throw it up on the screen what your lat actually looks like. That's all your lats. A lot of people miss that since this connects to your low back and into your mid back, it actually plays a role in how your pelvis moves too, because it connects through your pelvis as well, because all of those muscles in your posterior chain are all connected. So the more separation and space you get here because you're mobile in this position, the more your pelvis is actually able to rotate as well. If this gets really locked up here in your lat and it's tight, when you try to turn, your pelvis is going to get stuck and locked up. Second, you can start creating space down in your lat. It actually frees up your pelvis to now turn more as well. So if you're looking for a longer backswing, more rotation in your backswing, you might want to look at lat tightness as well, because that tightness can actually contribute to a lack of pelvic mobility. It's weird to think about, but all these muscles are connected in some way or another, which can contribute to different tightnesses. When training your lats, it is very important that we're having a focus of how to actually have lat strength come into the golf swing. We're not just training your lats to be bigger. We don't need you walking through doors like this. We're truly trying to get you to have stronger lats and more explosive lats so that you can pull that rope down, dropping that club into the slot so that you can deliver more speed at the ball. So it's a little bit different than just standard being in the gym and doing lat pull downs. A lot of lat pull downs, you'll see people essentially variations of this move right here. You'll see them with a bar, you'll see them with cables, but they're essentially just going straight down, working like this. Now that does work your lats great in the bodybuilding aspect, but not so much in the golf swing. So let me show you what you should be doing instead. So I'm gonna demo this for you with a band. You can truthfully use a band, you can use a cable machine, you can really use anything that you want for this. The first thing that I want you to do is work on the mobility of your lats. So the mobility is creating that space. So just like on your golf swing, we said you're gonna come back really far and create separation. I want you to feel the exact same thing when you're actually doing this stretch. So I want you to sit back, really get your butt sitting back, hold on to the band or cable, and really just create a lot of separation in this area. And I'll switch sides too. You should do it on both sides to make sure you're evening out your body. You can see that I'm just creating tons of separation and length here. From here, I actually want you to start rotating your spine and opening up your pelvis as well to create much more of a stretch. Now I'm feeling a stretch in here, I'm feeling a stretch in here, and I'm really feeling a stretch in here. My entire side, essentially from tricep, lat, all the way down is being stretched, but I'm really focusing on that piece of the lat tying into your pelvis as well, really creating that separation, creating that spine to have more mobility, more functionality, and it's essentially just creating more fluid flow throughout your body. Say that 3 times fast. Fluid flow, fluid flow, fluid flow. So I recommend holding each stretch for about 30 seconds. And what you can do is start turning your chest to the side as well to create even more stretch in this area, more stretch in your pelvis. You'll really be able to feel a deep stretch. From here, once you have started to incorporate the mobility aspect, now let's throw a little bit of strength training into it. So get back into that same position. You're feeling nice and stretched. You're turning sideways, really stretching out your lat. And then I want you to return to a neutral position as you drive your lat down. So now we're working a little bit more of that functionality aspect of starting to pull down, but starting to engage your lat. So again, we're getting a nice big stretch. We're rotating our spine. We're creating length in our lat. And then we're pulling down and squeezing tightly, starting to activate our lats, starting to engage our lats so that you can have some feel. From here, we're now going to take it into the next exercise, which will really translate over into more speed in your golf swing. So the last piece of this puzzle is actually getting that feel in your golf swing. So what I want you to do is grab that band, just like we were doing, but now you're turned sideways. So you're gonna be even with the band being elevated from here. And again, you can be a little bit more under it. You can be a little bit more out in front. There's a couple of different ways to do this. It depends on what specifically you're working in the golf swing. For the purpose of this right now, I'm just throwing it up there and demoing it for you. But essentially what I need you to do is get into your golf stance. Now you're gonna have to feel a lot of weight pressure on your right side. If you're a righty, it's your trail side essentially, because what you're doing is having to resist that band pulling you back this way. So you really have to feel like you're loaded in this side as an added benefit. Now we're practicing our trail side loading as well on this. So grab that band, like I said, go into your backswing position, and you can see that I've created a lot of separation here on my left side, as well as opened up my pelvis, and now I have this stretch in my lat. From here, I'm gonna start that rotating aspect of my downswing, but what I want you to do, instead of letting your shoulders come this way, I really want you to engage your lat by pulling down. So from here, rotated, we're turning, and we're pulling down. And you can see I'm really squeezing my lat. I'm trying to keep my arms straight. I'm not pulling down like this. I'm really keeping my arms straight. I'm turning to get a little bit of rotation as if I just started clearing my hips. Now I'm pulling down with that lat as hard as I can and squeezing. What this is doing is essentially reinforcing that aspect of on your downswing, you're turning here, the club's dropping into the slot, and you're really pulling and creating speed from that strength in your lat and that ability to pull the club harder into the slot to deliver it faster at the golf ball. Now make sure you're doing it on both sides of your body. You want to stay even on your body, and I'll demo it on this side just so you can see it from a little bit different of an angle anyways. So same thing now as if I'm lefty. Have my arms stretched out, I'm really creating length and space in here. I'm clearing my hips as if I start my downswing, and I'm pulling down with my lat, fully engaging. This is a lot like you'll see people grab the bar and do lat pull downs like this way. So they're really just squeezing and engaging here. That's essentially what we're doing, but we're doing it in a little bit different of a motion pattern because it's mimicking the golf swing. So one more time, we're here, we're stretched and engaged, we've created that separation, we've created that length, we're turning and clearing our hips slightly, and then we're pulling down. We're really watching that we don't want to be here and pulling across our body. We are truly pulling, turning, pulling down, as if your hands are coming neutrally, either the inside part of the golf ball or straight down into it, versus sliding across it. So that's one thing you can pay attention to, make sure that it's actually going to incorporate correctly into the golf swing and you're engaging your lat correctly and dropping that club into the slot versus throwing it over the top and then bringing it across. So now through that exercise, we have reinforced creating length in that backswing through extending and creating mobility in our lat. From here, we're focused on driving down with that lat, just as we did while we're starting our turn. We're driving down with our lat this way, not out this way, driving down here to create more speed at the golf ball. So at length, lats drive down, turn through it, which will really help you implement more speed at the golf ball and in the correct spot in your swing to actually gain speed and be faster. Guys, that is it for today. I hope this helps to implement more speed through the use of your lats, but the proper use. Try out those stretches, try out those exercises, see how it feels in the gym so it can translate directly into your golf swing so you can start hitting further drives and swinging faster. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any ideas for future videos. Let me know your thoughts on this exercise, and until next time, we'll see you guys later.